Hey guys, Danielle at Danielle TBD.
Marisa Rothman.
And this is We Have Thoughts, where we are continuing where we left you last time, where we're going to basically highlight some of our favorite, not so favorite, just general moments from recent TV that has spurred discussion and thoughts and conversation and feelings.
Things
and
that we've never had.
Why are you shaking
before.
your head?
Things that we've never had. I was like, I'm not wrong. She's wrong.
So I wanted to start with Community because obviously, you know, it was a roller coaster waiting for the season.
October 19th.
Yeah, you know, first of all, not knowing if it was going to get a fourth season at all, then Dan wasn't coming back, then, you know, it was getting a late start in the fall, then no start in the fall, et cetera, et cetera. And I do feel that, you know, the season premiere was different. Obviously, I think you take Dan away and it's a show from Dan's mind and it's going to be different. But one of the things that I loved was that they were very clearly saying, we know we're weird, we know our audience likes it when we're weird, and we're going to embrace that, even though our particular brand of weirdness might not be exactly Dan's. You know, he's a lot of the same writers, or I'm sorry, the show has a lot of the same writers that it's had for the other years, so obviously some of it's the same, but you know, they've done things in the past, animation episodes,
yes,
and claymation episodes, and this premiere really, I think, put together a lot of the best of that stuff, and honestly my favorite moments from the premiere, but just from the show in general, was Greendale babies. When, you know, the show inside Abed's mind, because that's how layered Abed is always going to be full of pop culture goodness. But I'm sorry, Muppet Babies was just a personal childhood favorite. And so to see the Greendale gang as little babies in that vein, I don't know, I lost it. I was so excited. Because so much of the episode was very much preparing you that this could be the beginning of the end. You know, obviously they don't know if they're coming back for another year, but it's the fourth year, and Abed, especially as a character, has to adjust to the change of when they graduate, they won't spend all the time together the way that they do now. And so he went into his own little world, and but it also kind of showed you, like, who they would be with each other, even if the school wasn't there, which I also really appreciated, because they could go on and just remove Greendale and still be friends and still have these wacky adventures and everything. And I feel like the season is setting that up to show you, like, this is what we could be if we go on. We'll still be what you loved, just different. And, you know, change doesn't always have to be so terrible. But I love the way that they did it, because Abed has always kind of represented the audience in a lot of those ways. And, you know, his love of meta things and pop culture and his fear of change, and I think it was meta in its own way, the way that they kind of said, look, we know what you're worried about, and we're going to answer it for you, and we hope that you're happy with our answer. And I wanted to talk about the Muppet Babies things with people. It was a short moment, but I was just like, oh my god, this is my favorite thing ever, and then they put on the screener, like, do not talk about this, and I was like, oh, I have to wait till it premieres. That's really hard. So
her life is really tough, guys.
I mean, because that's the kind of thing that, like, when you're going to write about Community, you tease that so that people get excited. Because that's the kind of thing that Community does really well. Right. And to say you can't talk about this is shooting yourself in the foot, I think. It wasn't a giant spoiler.
No, I yes and no. I can understand that to both perspectives, but that might be more of an off-camera conversation.
No, I'm just glad to be able to be like, this moment was awesome, and I can talk about it after the fact, and I hope to see more of moments like that from the season.
And I think that we should start a campaign to have cameras follow Danielle whenever she watches screeners, because I feel
that would be terrible. They wouldn't send me screeners anymore.
But I would kind of like to see the reactions on those rare moments when she gets really excited, like Muppet Babies or the Greendale Babies, because I feel like that would have been priceless to see, and I'm really sad I didn't witness that, I have to say. Do you want to reenact it now?
No, I don't know that I could reenact it now. I'm not an actor, so I don't know that I could.
Yes, that's ever stopped.
And part of the problem was I knew animation was coming. I just didn't know what kind of animation, and when it was that, it was perfect, because I was like, I love the Muppet Babies. You guys are speaking directly to me.
I don't know if you know, but they actually renamed the show Danielle. It's no longer Community, just Danielle. It's geared just for you.
I think Dan Harmon is the male me. I've written about this before. Like, we share the same brain.